So I was making eggs for breakfast this morning, and I read something on the egg carton that said that they're free range chickens, and they let their chickens walk around and they just pick up the eggs and collect them wherever the chickens lay their eggs. And I thought about it, got me down a rabbit hole of thinking about societal norms and how we look at things on a spectrum of a pendulum. And so at one point, maybe 100 years ago or however long ago, that was probably the same. We had chickens running around in the range and just picking up their eggs and putting them in a carton and selling them. And then at some point, we kind of industrialized and commercialized the egg business, and we got a bunch of chickens and we put them in coops, and we put them in this little tiny confined space. And then at some point somebody thought, man, that's wrong. We should not do that anymore, and we should go back to having free range chickens. And so we saw the societal norm start on one side and flow all the way over to the other side until people got sick of it and decided this isn't the way that things should be, or this isn't right. Another example of it would be childbirth. In the early 19th century, or the early 20th century, I should say, people would have natural childbirth and have childbirth at home. And then in the 1950s, it became pretty much a standard to, go to the hospital and have your baby in the hospital and have drugs and medications. And now as we move into the 2000s and 2020s, women are more finding midwives again and doing home births and natural births, because the institution or the commercialization of childbirth became so far on the other side of the pendulum that people have had enough. So what are some other instances that you can think of that follow that same trend?